been a while since I've done one of these, mostly because I haven't had any insight on what I really want to talk about. And when I do these videos, I like to come from a very authentic place, and I just I don't like to fake it. So I kind of needed to have some sort of spark of inspiration to be able to. My cat's busy scratching herself and shaking the bed. I kind of need to have some sort of spark of inspiration in order to talk about what I want to talk about. And yeah, so at least you know it's from an authentic space. Um, yeah, so I'm going through a little bit of fatigue at the moment. So I ended up having to take things quite slowly today for this weekend. I've got quite a lot of work on my plate at the moment, and I'm a one-man band, and I have to do it on my own with minimal assistance on the sidelines. Um, but this is what happens when you're busy rebuilding your life from scratch, and I've um, I've taken stock of that. If this is what I want, like if I want this independence and this freedom, the sacrifices obviously need to be made, and that means that until such time as the business has grown to its larger potential, I am going to have to remain a one-man band member. So, yeah, so unfortunately it does come with its drawbacks, but if you manage it properly and treat properly, then you'll be okay. I'm just taking Biostrath, and I'm taking Solal's anti-stress formula, which just keeps the brain and the heart well fed. And I'm also taking these tissue salts, which are for fatigue and exhaustion. So, yeah, it's not really what I wanted to talk about today, though. So, in doing this, I'm now working at home by myself on a Sunday and just not even playing music. I'm just in my own space. It's tranquil, there's just birds and nature sounds and silence, and it's really beautiful and calming. And it's exactly what I need. And I went downstairs for a coffee break to go and get some coffee, which I don't normally drink, but just to keep me going. And I walked past one of my housemates' boxes, and I found this book, which is Sacred Contracts by Caroline Myss. And my housemate Rita had actually spoken to me about this just a few days ago, and she had unpacked some of her stuff this weekend, and she had said she would try and find the book for me, and instead the book found me. It called to me from the box. So I went and took the book out the box for my coffee break and decided to read the introduction to it. And it speaks about like what your life purpose is and how to discover it, and that in essence is your soul contract to yourself and obviously to others. And one of the interesting statements that she coined was, your biography is your biology. Your biography becomes your biology. And in essence, what that is how you live your life determines your health. Not in the obvious sense of what you eat, but also in the things that you hold onto and the things that you allow to affect you. So, um, you know, essentially traumas of your life can determine, and how you hold on to them and how you heal from them or let go from them can determine your health. And so, which is something I've believed in for a good number of years now, and I've practiced it as well. Um, but we so often get caught up in our day to day, and the sense of urgency that we have to work to survive and survive to work, and in doing that we end up um, not getting the rest that we need, not taking time out, and not being very present in our day to day lives. And life starts to pass you by, and then you wake up one day and you're like, holy shit, it's April. No, wait, May. and and you just you don't realize it, but you have to do what you've got to do in order to feed yourself, in order to have shelter and clothe yourself. And it's kind of the machine of the world we live in. You can't just pitch a tent and like under a tree and expect to survive. You have to kind of fall in line with the social requirements to a large degree, in order to survive. So yeah, you get caught in this loop, and this loop ends up, you know, um, pushing you into this bit of downward spiral where, you get fatigued, you get sick, um, you don't focus on the things you need to focus on in order to be able to move forward effectively in your life. And I'm not saying that I haven't been focusing on it. I definitely have been focusing on it all. But um, I think what happens is that you also end up having certain people who come into your life who, alert you to the things that you're not focusing on. Um, like you'll have someone who demands your attention, above everything else, and they're not respectful of, um, you know, the fact that you're having to rebuild your life, and they put pressure onto you, to give them answers or to, give them friendship or attention, and instead of giving you the space you need in order to heal. And something I've learned in the last 2-3 weeks, with people like that is, if they really are worth your time, they'll understand the space that you're in, and, give you that space to be able to heal and recover and grow your life. Because are they going to pay your bills? No, they're not. Are they going to, be there for you when everything falls apart because you've been giving them attention? No, they're not. So, these are all people who become energy sappers, and, I got quite sick because of a situation with one, and, I think, if you, and I haven't been sick for 3.5 years despite all the stuff that I've been through. So I think if you are able to identify, you know, what energy is deserving to be given from you to another, then that will make your path that much easier. But most importantly, that you only, as in the words of Abraham Hicks, whatever you allow into your life, so long as your happiness is your number one priority, then you will make the right choices of what you allow into your life. Um, and I don't mean that in like the selfish sense. I mean that in the sense that, like, you're always going to come across people who want something from you, especially if you have a lot to give this world, and if you are just a giver, and you cannot allow them to, just continue to take from you, because there'll be nothing left for you. And once you're drained of that energy, you're you're not going to be able to recover from it in a very easy way. So, yeah, basically focus on the present, focus on what you need to do right now. If you are busy rebuilding your life, as so many people are, and a lot of people are struggling right now because we're in a recession and times are tougher around the world, and, jobs are hard to come by, work is hard to come by if you're self employed, and, you've got to almost be smart about it and have multiple streams of income. But if you aren't smart about it, then you're just going to make your life a lot harder, especially if you're prioritizing the needs, and feelings of others who have absolutely zero respect for your needs and your requirements. And it is very easy to test that, whether people are genuinely deserving of your attention and affection or not. They would make you a priority as much as you would make them a priority. And if you don't make them a priority, then similarly, they don't have to keep you in their life. So, be very cognizant of who you allow into your life, and why are you allowing them into your life, because in that present moment there'll be a lesson to learn, if anything. And, if no lesson to learn, which I always think there is, but if no lesson to learn, then it's just really a genuine waste of your time if they are not giving you, and contributing towards your energy and making you feel better about your life. So yeah, I hope this makes sense.